Searches in the late 1940s kept five people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them. Since it was toxic in high concentrations, this was before closed circuit cameras, so they only had microphones and 5-inch thick glass portholes sized with windows into the chambers to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep on, but no bedding, running water toilet, enough dried food to last all five for over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days, as the subjects hardly complained, having been promised falsely that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past, and the general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and the events that lead them to where they were, and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones in one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they seemed to think that they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity, with them. At first, the researchers suspected it was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber, repeatedly yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight. He continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about this behavior is how the other captives reacted to it, or rather did not react to it. They continued whispering into the microphones until the second of the captives started to scream. The second non-screaming captive took the books apart and smeared page after page with their own feces and pasted them calmly over the glass portholes. Then the screaming prohibitively stopped. So did the whispering to the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure that they were working, since they thought it was impossible that no sound was coming with 5 people inside. The oxygen contamination in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavily level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something they would not do to get a reaction from the captives, using the intercom from inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any of the response from the captives. They were afraid, either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber doors to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor, or you will be shot. Completions will earn one of your immediate freedom. To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice response: "We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces, finding the researchers were unable to provoke more response using the intercom. Was finally decided to omit from the dead test subjects' lives and chests stuffed into the drain at the center of the chamber, blocking the drain, allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much on the floor of precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bones on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were self-inflicted by hand, not with teeth, as the researchers intentionally thought. Closer examination of the position of the angles of the loom indicated them that not all of them were self-inflicted. The abdominal organs below the rib cage of all 4 test subjects has been removed, while the heart, lungs, and diaphragm remain in place. The skin and most of the muscles attached to the rib has been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the rib cage. All the blood vessels and organs remain intact. They had just been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out across the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects. The digestive tract of all the 4 can be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were doing, they were digesting their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of the days. Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but many refused to return to the chamber and remove the test subjects. They continued to scream and be left in the chamber, and ultimately begged and demanded that the gas be turned on, lest they fall asleep. Everyone's surprised, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out. Another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their life, if you count the ones that committed suicide in the following weeks of the incident. In the struggle of one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and he bled out almost immediately. The medical team researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times of the human dose of morphine derivatives and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs of one doctor when a heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he bled at the point there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack everyone in reach and just repeating the word "more" over and over, weaker and weaker until he finally fell silent. The 3 surviving test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility with 2 intact vocal cords, continuously begging for the gas to stay awake. The only remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed the same flat lines as the one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers One of the three, one of the named three immediately drew his gun, shot the commander point blank between the eyes, then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. He even pointed the gun at the remaining subjects, still strained to a bed, as remaining members of the medical and research is using the inner side of the intercom from inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any of the response from the captives. They were afraid either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber doors to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor, or you will be shot. Completions will earn one of your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice response: "We no longer want to be free." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces, finding the researchers were unable to provoke more response using the intercom. Was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphone began to object. 3 different voices began begging as if pleading for the life of loved ones to turn the gas back on. The chamber was open and sent to retrieve the test subjects and began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one can rightly call the state of that any of them in life. The food rations past day 5 and has not been so much as touched. There are chunks of meat from the dead test subjects' slides and chests stuffed into the drain at the center of the chamber, blocking the drain, allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much on the floor of how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. Destruction of flesh, exposed bones on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were self-inflicted by hand, not with teeth, as the researchers intentionally thought. Closer examination of the position of the angles of the wound indicated them that not all of them were self-inflicted. The abdominal organs below the rib cage of all 4 test subjects has been removed, while the heart, lungs, and diaphragm remained in place. The skin and most of the muscles attached to the rib has been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the rib cage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact. They had just been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out across the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects. The digestive tract of all the 4 can be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were doing, they were digesting their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of the days. Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but many refused to return to the chamber and remove the test subjects. They continued to scream and be left in the chamber, and ultimately begged and demanded that the gas be turned on, lest they fall asleep. Everyone's surprised, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out. Another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their life. If you count the ones that committed suicide in the following of the incident. In the struggle of one of the four living subjects had his spleen ruptured and he bled out almost immediately. The medical team researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times of the human dose of morphine derivatives and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs of one doctor when heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he bled out to the point there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack everyone in reach and just repeating the word more over and over, weaker and weaker until he finally fell silent. The 3 surviving test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility with 2 intact vocal cords, continuously begging for the gas to stay awake. The only remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed the same flat lines as the one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes, then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. He even pointed the gun at the remaining subject, still strained to a bed, as the remaining members of the medical and research team fled out of the room. "I won't be locked in here with these things, not you," he screamed at the man strapped to the table. "What are you? I must know." The subject smiled. "Have you forgotten so easily?" The subject asked. "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence paralysis when you go to nocturnal heaven, where we cannot not tread." The researchers paused, then aimed the gun at the subject's heart and fired. The EEG flat outline as the subject weakly choked out. "So nearly free." Fled out of the room. "I won't be locked in systems and blood." Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack everyone in reach and just repeating the word more over and over, weaker and weaker until he finally fell silent. The 3 surviving test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility with 2 intact vocal cords, continuously begging for the gas to stay awake. The only remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed the same flat lines as the one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes, then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. He even pointed the gun at the remaining subject, still strained to a bed, as remaining members of the medical and research team fled out of the room. I won't be locked in here with these things. Not you. He screamed at the man strapped to the table. What are you? I must know. The subject smiled. Have you forgotten so easily? The subject asked. We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silent paralysis when you go to nocturnal heaven, where we cannot not trend. The researchers paused, then aimed the gun at the subject's heart, and fired. The EEG flat outline as the subject weakly choked out. So nearly free. Number 5. Jeff the Killer. Ominous unknown killer still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I had a bad dream. I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason my window was open, even though I remember being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my current was a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. A figure stood there watching me. Finally, whatever seemed like forever, he said it, a simple phrase, but in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, punched, rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad butt busted. The man threw his knife. It went to my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors had already alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard it smash like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw that the window was pointing towards the back. My house was broken. I looked to see him vanish in the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face, those cold, evil eyes, and that psycho smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description of the story, please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion out of work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new better house, what was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and my son." She turned around and called over her son. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well, Jeff's mom said, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband, Peter, my two sons, Jeff and Lou." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday party. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to, When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went to his mom. Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not just some dumb kid. Jeff said his mother. We just moved here. We should show how we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to the party, and that's that. Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it just as it just was some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get stuff. Then he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once got that feeling again. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain. But he once again dismissed it as he and Lou finished breakfast. They walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? The kid turned their back to them. Turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and called his name. This kid seems to be about 12 or 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt with ripped blue jeans. Well, looks like we've got some new meat. Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny, the other one was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over at the skin, and he had a dopey face that you would expect a psychic to have. And here's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid, talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. And I said, the first kid, I am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for the bus fare if you catch my drift. Lou stood up ready to punch the lights out of this kid when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems like we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took the wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling it. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit back down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed at Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground, and Keith lashed out at him. But Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arms. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down as he fell. He puked all over. Lou could not do anything but look in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how do you... That was all he said. Then he saw the bus coming and knew that they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started to run as fast as they could. As they ran, They all looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling in, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. And he didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt a strange feeling go away. Then he stayed away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home, dude, the whole thing near the bus stop. Now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He was happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked in to find two police officers at the door. His mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they're stabbed, son." Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that sure, Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou. "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids. 2 stabbed, one had a bruise on his stomach. We have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked. There's no proof that it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say they weren't feeling because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. "Son, call down your brother." Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. "Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids." Lou tried to pull me back, but they couldn't. The conflict down is partly both wrong. "Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie." Wait, says Lou. All of a sudden, they looked at the scene, holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. I have the marks to prove it." He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. "No, Lou, it was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The officers led Lou out to the patrol car. "Lou, tell them it's me. Tell them I was the one who beat up little kids." Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulder. "Jeff, please, you don't lie. We know it's Lou. You can't stop." Jeff watched helplessly as the cops stood off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing that something was wrong. Jeff still attended the birthday party. "I don't have any fancy clothes," he had downstairs. "Just pick something out. Just pick out something," called his mother. He looked around his closet for what he could call fancy. Put on a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt, which he couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though he looked around and only found striped and patterned shirts, none which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie. "You're wearing," put it on. "You're wearing that," they both say. His mother looked at her watch and oh no, time to change. Let's go. As she herded Jeff and his father at the door, they crossed the street over to Barbara and Bill. He said they knocked on the door and it appeared that Barbara just like his parents waved dress. As they walked inside, Jeff could see there were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them? Said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes, shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in the Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and a hat. Wanna play? No, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with a weird puppy dog face. Please? Said the kid. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started actually have fun. It might have not been super cool, but it was the first time he's done something to take his mind off of it. So he played with kids for a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to JDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may kick their asses that one day, but not today. As he said, Randy rough at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming. Parents run out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. No one interrupts, or guts will fly. They said Randy pulled out a knife on Jeff and stabbed him in his shoulder. Jeff screamed as he fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After three kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twisted, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks up Jeff by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he's kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff, fight me! He picks up Jeff and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff. Look at me. Jeff glances up in his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC. And now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. Oh, finally, you stand fight. Jeff is now to his feet, bloody and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, one he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he gets upset, says Randy. As he runs at Jeff, that's when something happened. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psychic is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for air, Jeff hammers down on him, punch after punch, blood gushing from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents are crying, kids, even Troy and Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns train on and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him. Each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. As he hears Troy, Keith follow behind as they let out their final round of bullets. Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs a towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race and knives ready. Troy swings a knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard. Now that is left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings a towel rack. Drop the knife and grab Jeff by the neck. He pushes him into the wall. A thing of bleach falls down from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled it back. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lays there bleeding to death, he let down an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out lighter and switched it on. What's funny? He said, "Is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol?" Jeff eyes wide as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol and vodka. Jeff's eyes. Oh. Well, the alcohol burned him and the bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but there's no use. The alcohol made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, dropped to the ground nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the fire. That's when he passed out. Jeff woke in the hospital with the cast wrapped around his face. Lou was released from JDC as the two boys confessed it was them. That night, Jeff is in the bathroom. His mother could hear crying, and as she sees Jeff, his face is deformed. He had cut a permanent smile into his face and cut off his eyelids to prevent sleep. And the last thing he said to his mother was, "Mummy, you lied." And he killed his entire family, including Lou. And he ran off into the night, never to be seen again. The Rake. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in rural Newton in New York State, and once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told their stories of the encounters with a creature of an unknown origin. Emotions ranged from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. Well, the published versions are no longer on record. The memories remain powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 2 dozen documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continuous in almost all cases. The story were in identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some experts from their upcoming books. A suicide note from 1964. As I prepare to take my life, I feel it's necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I've introduced through this act. It was not the fault of anyone other than mine. For once I woke and felt his presence, and once I woke and saw his present form. Once again I woke and heard his voice. I looked into his eyes. I could not sleep without fear of what I might next away to experience. I cannot ever wait. Tiki Toby. Toby was a boy. He is 17 years old. He has a burning hatred towards his father and loves his sister dearly. As soon as his father was driving home, he crashed the car and killing his sister. Toby got hit with glass and all that, but he couldn't feel pain. But he had a burning hatred for his father. Some nights he would cry in bed all night until he cried himself to sleep. One night he was staring out the window and saw a figure with long arms in a suit. The next day, he would chew on his fingers, and a few nights after that, he went down and murdered his father, and he got a satisfaction out of it, as what his mother has seen him do. She was terrified. Now Toby was scared because he had to escape. He set a bunch of houses on fire to draw the police away from him. And he ran off into the night, and he saw the long-armed man again. That man was Slender Man, and they went off to Slender Man. The Slenderman, also known as Slenderman, is a fictional supernatural character that originated as an internet meme created by something awful forms user in 2009. It is depicted as resembling a thin, unnaturally tall man with a blank and usually featureless face, wearing a black suit. Stories of Slenderman commonly feature him stalking or abducting and traumatizing people, and particularly children. The Slenderman is not confined to a single narrative, but appears in many desperate works of fiction, mostly composed online. Fiction relating to the Slenderman encompasses many media, including literature, art, and video series such as Marble Hornets. Outside of fiction, the Slenderman has an impact on popular culture, having to refer in the video game Minecraft, in the generator video game of zone such as Slender's The 8 Pages, and Slender The Arrival. Beginning in 2004, a minor moral panic occurred over the Slenderman after readers as fan fiction were connected to several violent acts, particularly in the near fatal stabbing in Wakasena Wikishin. They say he's still out there. Got an idea for a top five list? Tell me in the comments below. Remember, subscribe for